most iconic Benzes look together. There it is. All that's missing is the S-Class. Well, this is an S-Class, the S coupe. And this is really my first time being in the CLS550, like really just driving it, really closing the doors. When I first got in one, I was thinking that maybe I wouldn't get used to it. It seemed like too small, like the window profile looks, you know, almost too small, too little, like I wouldn't get used to it. But as being in here, it feels like the most secluded car I ever been in. Like next to an S-Class, like the CL is so big inside, it feels loose at times. The CLS, it feels snug. I really get the point of why people get this car now. It's so sporty, it can take turns, and it's quick. It's like it gets off really fast. Like it instantly gives you a kick. It puts you back in the seat. And you know what I always say, if I'm in a CLS550 or a 550 model car and it does that, I can imagine a 63. And you can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the camera, but it sounds snappy. Like this was almost like, it feels like the best Mercedes motor that was invented. It just feels like it's sporty, it's quick, it's agile, it turns really fast with the car when you turn it. Hey, what's up YouTube? It's 3D the Rap Star, aka is the Benz Man. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram at It's the Benz Man. That's ITSTHEBENZMAN. And in today's video, I got the CLS550 with me. And I know you guys are wondering, this is the introduction to the CLS550 on my page. And no, it is not my car, it's my bro's car. And here's his Instagram right here on the screen. Make sure you guys follow him. He has his car, he has the IG page just for the car, and he got tons of angles for you guys. So make sure you follow him right there with the Instagram on the screen. But before we start the video, guys, you know what we gotta do. Let's get some angles. Why everyone is copying the Mercedes-Benz CLS styling is, let's just go over the looks. Like, let's just look at the car. And excuse the wind noise, guys. It's a little windy again for the next video, which is this video. Like, just look at the design. Look at the curves on the car. So if anyone else tell anyone that a different car was the creator of the four-door coupe segment, they will be lying. So never believe that. The creator of the the creator of the four-door coupe segment in cars is this right here, the Mercedes CLS. Which this isn't the first generation CLS, it is the second. So the W219 was from 2004 to 2010. And that was the first time we ever seen anything like this. And these are really the reasons why people were copying this car. So one, I'm gonna say the looks. Look what you get. It looks like a coupe, but it's four doors. So the look is everything, but how's the space? space is very limited, guys. So I'm in the back right now. To say Mercedes designed a lot of cars that's based on design and not preferably to live with, which is funny. But if you get a CLS, you don't get it because you want people in the back. You just get it literally for the styling of the car alone. The first Benz I ever wanted was a CLS, was this model. Well, the previous model, but this class, the CLS class. So this is how much room I have back here. My legs are touching right here, but the best thing that the CLS could do, look at this on the seat. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. There we go, guys. They made inserts to where you can put your legs for extra space. So say someone does want to go all the way back, you have that space right there. And so next, guys, we're just going to talk about how cars work. So in the car world, anytime a car brand or model comes out with something another manufacturer likes, basically, you know, car designs are not really patented, or they don't want to spend time trying to patent a design when designs are really just here, gonna come and go anyway. The average car design is roughly, you know, 6 to 8 years before, after 4 years, Mercedes gives it a facelift, and then the next 4 years, they're on to a whole nother design. So why would they just concentrate on patenting a design, basically? And so anytime something looks really good from one manufacturer, guess what? Now BMW wants a piece of that. So basically, here comes their Grand Coupe lineup. And so now Audi wants a piece of that. So that's how you get their A7, their RS7. You know, so all these cars are looking the same. And I can say the same thing with BMW. Remember when the BMW came out with the X6? Then here comes Mercedes. Now their model of the X6 is coming out. That's just how the car brand worked. But the reason why everyone is copying this design, because to the naked eye, it was just so successful. It was a 4-door car with coupe-like styling. Which to this day, guys, every time I see them, they still catch my eye. And to a lot of people, the E-Class were considered boring. Nothing against my E-Class lovers. I love the E-Class. Nothing against the E-Class. But the E-Class was more for the standard boss, you know, that's going to the job. Doesn't really care about what the car looks like. He wants that E-Class. He loves the E-Class. He wants the engine. The CLS were to pertain to the younger crowd. To get something that says, look how this car looks. You would want a Mercedes over anything else. But now, guys, I'm not really loving their direction. Now the new car basically for that is the CLA, where it looks like the CLS, but it's way smaller. It's like a baby CLS, the CLA. And I knew Mercedes marketing strategy, what they did, what they went with, what they were thinking in their head. Hey, if we make something that looks like this, but cost effective, 27 to 37 grand starting, somebody could just come to the car dealer and we'll put them in a CLA. But guys, what you really want is a CLS. But I love the CLA, the way it looks, how small it is. It's definitely a starter car. But where it's really at is in the V8 with the CLS550. And the cars looked so aggressive that why wouldn't BMW? Why wouldn't Audi? Why wouldn't all these car brands just look at this car and go, you know what? We need to make a 4-door coupe. So like I stated earlier in the video, the 4-door coupe came from the Mercedes, from the CLS model. And also, upon coming to the doors, as you know, it does have, guys, anyone wondering, look how slick this is. Look how slick the B-pillar is. Anyone wondering, guys, you close it, and it does adjust. It does automatically go up. And so, guys, if you are wondering what to get, like a CLS or a S-Class, I'm going to say this. If you have a big family and you go out often, get the S-Class. If the car is more for yourself, then get a CLS. The CLS and the CL. The CLS and the CL class says, I'm stubborn, but I have style, and I know how to choose a car. Why? Because there's really no leg room in the back. It's really nothing you could do with the back. It's basically, from here on back is just from show. It's just for show, excuse me. From here on back of the car. All these curves are just for looks. That's why I always say Mercedes does know how to design one sexy car. And this is probably design-wise one of the hottest cars on the market. Like, I remember when I was first looking at an E-Class and all these classes, like I stated earlier, guys, I wanted the CLS, the older model. I wanted it because of the way it looked. I was like, wow, Mercedes makes the car that looked like that? A lot of people used to say Mercedes was for older people. Mercedes and Bentleys are boring. And I think it was getting to their head, so they finally started coming out with something that could pertain to a younger crowd. And that's when the CLS came out. And that's why everyone's copying it, guys. The way it looks, what it says to people. One of my favorite features is the way the steering wheel looks. Look at the bottom. The way it just go down is amazing. But basically, how does it drive, guys? It's really smooth. You know, guys, I love the 550s, and this is a 2014. If anybody wondering, it feels plenty fast. It's way smoother than I thought. It's way bigger. It's a step up from the average C-Class, guys. The way it looks, you feel snug in here. It makes up for everything that other cars lack. Other cars in this size lack. And you know, as always, guys, you get that smooth Mercedes feel, like, and you don't hear any wind noise, guys, if you were wondering about that. You know, Mercedes does well, as I do have the sunroof open. It takes corners really good. They almost did so good on a 550 that you wouldn't even need a 63. If you were driving a 550, it's plenty car. It's enough you need. So if you were wondering about that, unless, you know, some people just wonder about that, those badges that says 63 and AMG on the back, but the 550 is plenty car. So it also comes with your rear shade. And the one thing I like about it that I wish other cars had is the white dash. I love it in white. It's so sporty. Look at the steering wheel. Like, the 550 comes with all this stuff. And that's standard, guys, on the 550. One of the best things I like is that takeoff, guys. It has something to the exhaust. I think it's them turbos that it just gets the car moving like really fast. It's just, even in the lower gears, if you tap it, it's ready to go. It takes off really quick. And this is in eco mode, guys. So if you were wondering, yes, the CLS have an eco mode to where it's trying to save you gas. But the best part about this car is driving it faster, is giving it gas, it's going around the corners. That's why you were basically get it over an E550 or an E350, because it just takes the corners better. And you know, it feels so sporty. It just feels so nimble and agile. And I like being in and driving in a CLS550 because you know that you're in the inventor, you're in the creator, you're in something that was created in your car. This segment is the game that everyone is trying to copy. All the car companies trying to copy this. CLS has been so successful for Mercedes that they made the CLA, which is a little shorter version, which looks almost the same, but not really. But guys, you know how Mercedes are starting to have designs that all the cars are kind of looking alike, but just with different names, different badging. Like when you seen a CL, like you knew that was a CL if you take the badges off by the way the car looked. But now the C, the E, they're all starting to look the same. But the CLS, you cannot deny that 4-door coupe-like styling, guys. I cannot stress that enough. So that alone will be why everyone is copying that car. You know, cars were getting boring. They all were starting to look alike. And then here comes Mercedes with that car that everyone is like, wow, how did they pull that off? Why? Because they took out some room for the back. Look how small the windows are. They took that room out the back and made something that's basically it's like a 2-door, which is why it's called a coupe, but with 4-door like styling. The car feels so much faster than what it really is, guys. It just, like, if you're not prepared, it will snap your neck coming around the corner. But I love how sporty it is, because you know the BMWs are more for the sporty cars, are more for the cornering, but this car does it really well. And guys, it does have the bolsters that hold you into the seat. So when you turn, all that body roll is taken out because it's gonna hold you into the seat right there. So this car have all the amenities, all the checkpoints, all the pluses that you would look for in a car if you were looking for that next car. You know, if you were looking for the next model, or if you were wondering about a CLS, you know, like, oh, should I get an 08 CL or a 2014 CLS? The CLS is newer also, you know, if you were comparing it to a 2008 model CL. You know, the CLS is a lovely car. And so yes guys, all the windows are fully automatic, just one touch. It's the front and the back. All the windows go fully down, if you were wondering, and one touch back up. That's actually a really good feature on a car like this, because most four-door cars, the back windows will roll down one touch but not back up. When you roll them back up, you basically got to hold it to go back up. Comes with your sunroof standard, blind spot detection, Harman Kardon sound system, memory settings 1, 2, and 3, you know, like the typical Mercedes, with the settings for the seat right here on the door, which are lock and unlock. Standard clock that's in a lot of CLS Mercedes with the stitching on top. So one of the best parts about this car is that eco mode, guys. I can't stress that enough. Is where, you know, you have to commute, you're going to work. That eco mode is going to help you save gas. And then you got your sport and comfort, which tunes the suspension. And then overall you got your sport, eco, and manual mode. And then everything's right here. You know how on the CL, guys, you have the phone that's placed in the middle? All the numbers for the phone are basically here. But there's so much stuff to toggle through. Like, you can have the eco on, but with the sport mode. You can have it in sport settings, sport comfort, or sport or comfort settings, still with eco mode. Or you can have sport and sport.